Hello YouTube, my name is Daniel, and welcome to another edition of Education 180. You may be wondering why I'm sitting here making this YouTube video for you. Well, here's the deal. Today, I'll be talking about the third section in the Analytical Reasoning module on patterns. You may be wondering what patterns are. On the LSAT, when you're answering pattern-type questions on the Analytical Reasoning section of the LSAT, your ability to place and position the letters according to the conditions in the passage will help you in determining the final answer choice. It is also important to be aware of positional versus non-positional conditions. The relationship between objects that are expressed in the conditions will either contemplate their position relative to one another, i.e., A cannot be placed next to C, or will simply be inclusionary, i.e., if A is on the shelf, then C must be on the shelf as well. Recognizing the presence or absence of a positional component to a condition can be instructive, particularly when a question contains only both types of conditions. A question which contemplates the location of an object will likely only draw upon positional conditions, where a non-positional question will likely only draw on non-positional conditions. Please take a moment to read through pattern question 1. Press pause, and when you are ready to continue, press play. Let's take a look at the question together. The question reads as follows. An office building has 4 floors of offices. So let's highlight the key points. An office building has 4 floors of offices. There are 2 offices on each of the upper 3 floors. And 1 office on the main floor. The offices are leased by tenants M, N, O, P, Q, R, and S. And the conditions read as follows. O's office is on one of the floors above P's. O's office is on one of the floors above Q's. M's office is on one of the floors beneath N's. And R and S's offices are on the same floor. So let's break down these conditions. So when you are first starting off in writing the Analytical Reasoning section of the LSAT, you may find it helpful to have pictures to represent the conditions. Let's break down the conditions step by step. So the first condition is right here. O's office is on one of the floors above P's. So we've represented the first condition with O being right here. And it is above P's office. It may not be directly above P's office, but it is on one of the floors above P's. Let's take a look at the second condition. O's office is on one of the floors above Q's. So again, we've conjoined the picture. This is second condition right here. O's office is above Q's right here. So we know that O is above P and O is above Q. Let's take a look at the third condition. Third condition reads as follows. M's office is on one of the floors beneath N's. So here's our third condition right here. We have M's office down here, and it's below N's. So again, we don't know if it's directly below N. We just know that it's on one of the floors that occurs below N. In the fourth and final condition, R and S's offices are on the same floor. So R and S is represented in this picture for condition 4. And R and S come as a package deal. They come together and they occur on the same floor. So when you go to write the LSAT, chances are that you will not have time to draw pictures, so what we do is we tend to represent it with algebraic formulas so that we don't have to reread this entire question every time that we go to answer it. Efficiency is key for success in the LSAT, so we represent each of the conditions with a series of letters. So for the first condition we have O on top of P. For the second condition, we have O on top of Q. It kind of looks like a fraction symbol in math. And the third condition, we have M below N, or N on top of M. And for the fourth condition, we have R and S occurring together. And then we also have a basic structure for a building. We have the bottom floor with just one room. So that's first floor. The second, third, and fourth floors all have 2 rooms. Okay, we shall continue. Please take a moment to read through pattern question 1. Press pause, and when you are ready to continue, press play. Let's take a moment to read through the following question together. Which one of the following could have the main floor office? So for A, we have R. B, we have Q. C, we have O. D, we have N. And E, we have S. So let's try it step by step. So let's try A to start with right here. So for A, it says, which one of the following could have the main floor office? So the main floor is right here at the bottom. So let's try R. Well, without even going any further, I know that this can't be the case because R needs to come with S as a package deal. And if it's on the bottom floor, there's no room for S. So we can eliminate A, because that is not a possibility. So let's take R out of the building. And let's try Q. What if Q went on the bottom floor? Okay, well, let's just plug in the letters and see what we get. So O is on top of P and Q. So let's put O on the top floor so that it is guaranteed to be above P and Q. Another one that's on top is N. N is above M. So let's put N towards the top. I know that R and S need to be together, so let's put R and S here. And what do we have left? We have M and P. Okay, let's see if any of the conditions are broken. So O is above P, so that one is good. O is above Q. N is above M, and R and S are together. So therefore, I know that Q could occupy the main floor office, and B is a correct response. But just for argument's sake, let's take a look at C, D, and E. I'm just taking the letters out of the building. Okay, so C says O on the main floor, so let's try with O. And without going too much further, I know that if I place O on the bottom floor, it would break the first condition and the second condition, because O needs to be on top of P and O needs to be on top of Q. And if it's on the main floor, there's not a chance that it could be above these two letters. So we can eliminate C. Okay, so let's take out O. How about we try N? So N on the main floor. And the next natural step is to take a look at the conditions. And I know that by condition 3, if N goes on the main floor, there's no chance that it could be above M. So it breaks the third condition, and D can be eliminated. Let's take away N. What if we were to try S on the main floor? Well, I know that if I put S on the main floor, it's going to break the fourth condition, because R and S need to come together as a package deal. And if S is on the main floor, there's only one room, so there's no room for R. So E can also be eliminated. So B is the correct response. And just to recap, Q is the only letter not restricted by a condition, preventing it from resting on the main floor. B is the correct response. Please take a moment to read through pattern question 2. Press pause, and when you are ready to continue, press play. We will continue. Let's take a moment to read through the question together. If P's and Q's offices are on the same floor, so let's take a moment to highlight that. P's and Q's offices are on the same floor. In other words, they come as a package deal, kind of like R and S. Which one of the following must be true? So in other words, there's no alternative. There's only one option. It must be true. So A says P and Q are on the second floor. B says P and Q are on the third floor. C says N and O are on the fourth floor. D, M is on the main floor. And E, R, and S are on the third floor. Let's give it a try. P and Q. Let us try and put it on the second floor. They go together. And what else do I know? I know that R and S need to go together. I know that O needs to be above P and Q, so let's put it on top. I'm only left with 2 places left, and based by the third condition, I know that N needs to be on top of M. So I'll place N on top and M on the bottom. So they're on the same floor. Let's see which one of the following must be true. So option A, right here, is P and Q are on the second floor. Well, they're on the second floor right now. But do they have to be is the question. So let's try swapping it with R and S. So I'll take, let's clear this off. I'll take Q and P out, and then I'll swap places with R and S. So I'll put R and S on the second floor, and P and Q on the third floor. And then the next natural step is to see if it breaks any of the conditions. So O is above P, O is above Q, N is above M, and R is with S. So I can safely eliminate A, because I know that P and Q don't have to be on the second floor. They work on the third floor. Okay. P and Q are on the third floor. We already know from this question right here that they work on the second floor. They don't have to be on the third floor. So we can safely eliminate B without even doing any work. C, N and O are on the fourth floor. So this one, right now they are on the fourth floor. But the question is, do they have to be? Is there anywhere else that they could be placed? So let's give it a try. Let's take N and O out. And I know that O has to be on top of P and Q. So let's take P and Q out. And we'll swap it out with R and S. So let's put R and S on the very top, because they need to stay together. Let's put O and N on the third floor, so they are on top of P and Q. And now we just see if any of the conditions are broken. So let's take a look. So O is on top of above P, O is above Q, N is above M, and R and S are together. So N and O do not have to be in the fourth floor. They work just fine on the third floor. So let's get rid of C. And the next question for D is M is on the main floor. Now, so far during the duration of this question, I have not seen M moved, and it makes me wonder if it can even move. The problem with moving M is that we know that R and S need to be together based on condition 4. We know that P and Q need to be together based on the condition given up here in the question. And if we swap places with O and M, we know that we'll break a condition, because now O will be below Q, and that will break condition 1. So let's try putting O back. And if I swap places with N and M, I know that it will break condition 3. So there isn't a lot that I can do in this regard. We're pretty much stuck with keeping M on the main floor. So let's put it back. So it looks like D is the correct response. But just for argument's sake, let's try E. R and S are on the third floor. Well, no, we know that it also works on the fourth floor. It's working right now where it is. So E can be eliminated. And D is the credited response. So just to recap quickly, only the top 3 floors have room for twos, pairs of twos. If PQ are forced together, as well with RS, that leaves only one floor left to put N and O, which both have to be above another letter. O above P and Q, N above M. Therefore, M would be forced onto the first floor, and D is the correct response. Please take a moment to read through question 3. Press pause, and when you are ready to continue, press play. Let's take a moment to read through question 3 together. If P leases the main floor office, so let's highlight that. P is on the main floor. P equals 1. On which floor or floors could S's office be located? So in other words, this type of question is looking for how many possibilities are there. How many different floors can I place S and it will still work? Okay, well, let's put P on the main floor. And we'll draw a box around it so that we know it's constrained and we're not tempted to move it. It's very tempting to move it and forget the condition. And let's just try it step by step. So could S work on the 4th floor? Because that's question A. So let's just try it step by step. R and S. We know that we have O and N. And then Q and M. So let's go through the conditions quickly to make sure none are broken. O is above P, check. O is above Q, check. N is above M, check. And R and S are together. So the 4th floor works. Let us try the 3rd floor. So for the 3rd floor, we can simply swap places. So R will go there, S will go here, L will go here, and N will go here. So does this work on the 3rd floor? Well, let's go through the conditions again quickly. I have a hunch it will. So O is above P, check. O is above Q, check. N is above M, check. And R and S are together, check. So we know that the 3rd floor works. Well, let's write it sequentially. We know that the 4th floor works. We know that the 3rd floor works. Let's try the 2nd floor. So let's take out R and S, and M and Q. And we'll place R and S on the 2nd floor. And Q and M can go here. Now, just to make sure, let's go through the conditions to make sure that none are broken. So we have O above P, check. O is above Q, N is above M, and R and S are together. So it also works on the 2nd floor. Check. And we know that we don't have to try the 1st floor. Well, first off, it's not an option. But secondly, we know that R and S need to go together. So there's no way that it would work on the 1st floor. Let's try floor again. 1st floor. It's the trouble with writing too quickly. All right. So we know that it's not the 4th floor only. It's not the 3rd floor only. It's not the 2nd floor only. The 2nd or the 3rd floor, well, this is true, but remember, we want to find all the possibilities, so we don't want to be missing any. So this is missing the 4th floor. So this is no good. This E is a better answer because it includes the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor. So this is a correct response. And just to recap quickly, since P is on the bottom, S can go on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor, as long as it is beside R. And the other 3 conditions are met, which is possible. E is a correct response. Please take a moment to read through question 4. Press pause when you are ready to continue. Press play. Number 4 reads as follows. If O's office is on the 4th floor and M leases the main floor office, which one of the following must be true? Alright, so let's highlight the key points. O's office is on the 4th floor and M is on the main floor. Which of the following must be true? Always highlight must be true, because this is going to tell you, does it have to be true, or to be aware of other options that can possibly break the condition of the question. Alright, so we know that O is constrained to the 4th floor and M is constrained to the main floor. So just for good practice, I like to put a box around it so I'm not tempted to move it. It just serves as a reminder. Which one of the following must be true? P's office is on the 3rd floor. Well, let's try it. So what else do we have? We know that RS need to come over here because they're a package deal. We know that N needs to be on top of M. And let's try Q right there. So let's just see if this works first to make sure that all the conditions are met. O is above P, O is above Q, N is above M, and R and S are together. So P's office works on the 3rd floor, but does it have to be? Well, no, we know that we can swap places with R and S based on previous questions that we've done. So let's try quickly to prove it. Oops. Grabbed my chart by accident. Alright, let's grab P. Let's grab Q. Let's grab S. And let's grab R. So R can come up here. S can come up here. P can come up here. And Q can come up here. And we can go through the conditions quickly. So O is still above P. O is still above Q. N is above M, and R and S are together. So P's office does not have to be on the 3rd floor. Let's get rid of it. S's office is on the 2nd floor. Well, right now the way it is, we know that it works on the 2nd floor and on the 3rd floor. So we also know from the last question that it also works on the 4th floor. So B does not have to be true. Last one, Q's office is on the 3rd floor. We know that it works because we swapped out P and Q with R and S, but it doesn't have to be. Right now it's on the 2nd floor, and it seems to be working out just fine. N's office is on the 4th floor. This one could be tricky. Let's see. I know that R and S are constrained together. I know that M is constrained at the bottom. And if I swap places with N and P, I know that it's going to break the first condition and the second condition. I can show you quickly what I mean. If I put N over here, it's going to be beside Q, and P will be beside O, so that won't work. So I can put it back. And likewise, if I swap N with Q, so I put N down here and Q up here, I know that now Q Q is beside O, so condition 2 is broken. So we can determine the hidden premise that N is constrained beside O on the 4th floor. Otherwise it won't work. So N's office must be on the fourth floor. Otherwise this question will not work out. So D is the correct response. Just for argument's sake, R's office is on the 3rd floor. Well, this is not necessarily the case because we know that we can switch places with R and S and P and Q, and the question will still work out. So E can be eliminated. So just to recap, D was the correct response. If O is on the top floor and M is on the bottom floor, P and Q as well as R and S would be forced to fall into the 2nd and 3rd floors due to the conditions. The only space left for N would be on the 4th floor. D is the correct response. Please take a moment to read through question 5. Press pause, and when you are ready to continue, press play. We will continue. Let's take a moment to read through question 5 together. If R's office is on the 3rd floor, then which one of the following must be true? So R's office is on the 3rd floor. Which one of the following must be true? So we're looking for alternative solutions if they are possible. So R is on the 3rd floor. And if we know R is on the 3rd floor, S is on the 3rd floor based on the 4th condition. So, and it's also a good idea to place boxes around the letters to constrain them there. What else can we say? If R's office is on the 3rd floor, which one of the following must be true? Alright, well let's just experiment and see if we can make changes as we go. So O's office is on the 4th floor. So let's just try it. I have a hunch it'll work. P, M, and Q. O's office is on the 4th floor. Well, what would happen if we were to try and switch O? We know from the first condition that O needs to be on top of P, and from the second condition we know that O needs to be on top of Q. It looks like the case that O needs to be on the 4th floor. So it looks like A is a credited response, because if we move O to this floor, it'll be on the same level as P, or if we move P up to the 4th floor, it'll be below P, and we can't move O to this bottom floor because then it'll be below P and Q. So it looks like A is a credited response. But just for argument's sake, let's try the others. N's office is on the 2nd floor. That can't be true. It has to be on the 4th floor with O, so we can eliminate B. P's office is on the 2nd floor. It could be the case that P is on the 2nd floor, but there is an alternative. We can swap out P so it's on the bottom floor here, and Q, oh, I got an extra P there, and I can put Q here, and that would still work. Let's delete this P so it's out of our way. Alright, so P's office does not have to be on the 2nd floor, so we can get rid of it. S's office is on the 4th floor. That's not even possible based on the condition. If R's office is on the 3rd floor, S also has to be on the 3rd floor also. So D is not even possible. Let's get rid of it. And E, M's office is on the main floor. Well, we know where it is right now. It's on the 2nd floor and it's working out just fine. So we can eliminate E. and A is the credited response. Just to recap quickly, because O must be on top of P and Q, and we know that RS is on the 3rd floor, O would be forced onto the 4th floor to stay on top of P and Q. A is the correct response. Final question, please take a moment to read through pattern question 6. Press pause, and when you are ready to continue, press play. We will continue. So the question reads as follows. Which one of the following is possible? So we have M on the 4th floor, P is on the 4th floor, O is on the main floor, M and O are on the same floor, M and Q are on the same floor. Well, let's give it a shot. What if we were to put M on the 4th floor? Well, just taking a quick look at the conditions, I know that condition 3 would be broken because M needs to be below N, and if it was on the 4th floor, it'd either be on the same floor as N or above N. So A is not possible. Let's try P is on the 4th floor. Okay, so let's put P up here. So again, looking at condition 1, P needs to come below O. So if P's on the 4th floor, it'll either be on the same floor as O or above O. So B is not a possible answer choice. C, O is on the main floor. Well, what would happen if we put O on the bottom floor down here? Again, looking at condition 1, we know that O needs to be above P, and if O is on the main floor down here, it would have to be below P because there's only one room at the bottom floor. So C is not a possible answer choice. So let's take O out of the bottom floor. M and O are on the same floor. We can give it a try. Let's try O and M. RS can go on top. P, N, what else do we have? Q. Well, this would break the 3rd condition right here because N needs to be above N. So this wouldn't work. What if we tried to put M and O down here on the 2nd floor? Let's go through the conditions quickly. Now O is below P, so it breaks the 1st condition. And there's really only one other place, which is the 3rd floor. So let's put R and S in the bottom. P and N together. And O and M together. So again, this breaks condition 3. So M and O cannot be on the same floor. How about M and Q? Well, we can make a quick change here. Let's start from scratch. And I have a feeling this one will work out. So let's put O and N on top. What else do we have? R and S need to go together. Let's try M and Q together. And P can go on the bottom. And let's make sure this matches up with the conditions. So O is on top of P, check. O is above Q, check. N is above M, check. And R and S are on the same line. Beautiful. So E is the correct response. And just a recap, A, B, and C break the conditions without even diagramming the patterns. M and O on the same floor would force either P or Q to be above O. E is the only one that works. E is the correct response. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like us on YouTube, and on behalf of Education 180, happy LSAT writing.